All right, so this series is called Normal, Not Normal Aging. Is this normal or should I be curious about something? So today we're looking at four different video clips, two sections about it's time for me to go. I just looked down and realized that I was late. So time awareness and also situational awareness. So where am I? What does this mean? Who are these people? What's my relationship to them? All of those are skills in the hippocampus. So time awareness, situational awareness, and time of day, time of life, and time of year. So the first one we're going to watch is about it's time for me to go, and how do I handle that situation when there are people here and they're asking a little bit of detail from me. And details are hard. All the details, the logistics of setting up a trip with family can be a little overwhelming. So take a look at this first clip and notice what happens for Teepa when she notices that it's time to go.
Okay, so we're leaving on Tuesday.
You're leaving on Tuesday, and I'm
You're
going to on Wednesday.
Okay.
Right.
And we'll pick you up at the airport.
Okay. All right. And then I don't need to make any arrangements getting
Oh,
to
no.
the...
No, we
No,
got
we
the
got it.
rental
The
car.
tickets.
Oh, the tickets, well, they're on the internet. We just print them
Oh,
out,
okay.
and then you just
Okay.
scan the
well, that's good.
barcode
Yeah,
things.
yeah, no, that'll be great.
So
Yeah.
what time should I pick you up? When's your flight get in?
Oh, well, we're going to have to do this later. I've got something else I've got to go do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, I didn't know you were coming by. I mean,
well-
you guys just sort of stopped by, and it was...
I know, sorry.
rude of us, we just
real
popped in.
quick, what
no,
time is your
it's...
flight?
Look, do you see this? I've got arrangements. I said I would meet somebody, and I've got to allow plenty of time to get there.
Okay,
So
all
this
right,
is-
all right.
I mean,
Okay, no biggie.
We'll skedaddle.
Sorry.
Well, if
me
you
get 2 more little
called,
sips.
I mean, if you had called, well, I'm sorry.
No,
Look,
it's
you know,
okay.
I don't like
Yeah,
being
okay.
late. You know that.
I know.
I know.
It's
Punctual,
okay.
right?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we can talk about this another
Yeah.
time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Call us when you get done with your
Well,
meeting, okay?
well, you can, and you stop by any time. It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
It's okay. It's okay. But we've got the itinerary.
Well, no
We're all-
problem.
we're all
Yes,
set.
Yeah.
no. Well,
Okay,
you know, if
okay.
you'd told me you were coming,
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
I got it. It's
We
all
get
right.
it.
no
We
problem.
get it. Well, have a good meeting.
All right.
Okay.
So in this clip we just watched, we saw someone who was fairly capable of getting out of the situation in an okay way for herself, but may have burned a couple of those feelings bridges with her family sitting there because they had stopped by unannounced. She had a lot going on, and in that moment she forgot that she had another appointment, and she really doesn't like to be late. So that's something that we know about Teepa. So now let's take a look at the second clip and see if you've noticed anything different about that moment when she realizes and all of the pieces are trying to fall into place, but it doesn't quite happen in a way that's comfortable for her.
Okay, so we're going to leave first thing Tuesday morning,
And
right?
I'm going to go
you're
Wednesday. I'm coming on Wednesday.
And we'll pick you up at the airport, right?
That'll be great.
And I've got the tickets printed from the internet.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
the internet. Okay.
Yeah. You just,
Okay.
go
I
to the
don't need to
kiosk
do
and-
anything.
No,
No,
we
no,
have
no.
it.
We
okay.
got it. We got it.
All right. Well, I'm going to take off then because I've got to get going.
Mom,
Yeah.
if you want us to leave, just say so.
Well, no, I've got to get home. I mean,
What are you talking about?
I'm going home.
This is your home. We're visiting you.
No. I mean, this is your place.
No, it's not. Come on.
What are you talking about? I mean, this is where I don't live here.
Yeah, you do. You've
No, I
lived
don't.
here.
I-
Mom.
What?
You've lived here for 18 years.
This is
not-
our table. This is my table. I gave you the table, but
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You've always wanted the table. I gave you the table.
Teepa,
No.
why don't we just chill and have a
No,
cup of
listen.
coffee?
I don't know what you're talking about. None of this.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm going home. See, I've got my pocketbook right here, and I'm going to take off. This is
Okay,
it.
well, where exactly are you going then?
609 Hess Street. Where do you think I'm going?
No, that's not your home.
It is so
No,
my
that.
home.
Mom, come on. That's where you grew up.
I know that.
Yes, I know
I've
that
lived
too.
there forever.
No, you've lived here for 18 years. What's going on?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm out of here. This is absurd. I don't know what your issues are, but I'm going.
Well, my issue is this is your house, and I
It is not my house.
don't even know what to say to you.
Well, I'm going. Bye. Say bye. The two of you.
Sit down.
I'm not going to sit down. I'm going.
What?
We really don't want you to leave.
I'm out of here. Forget it.
What is the matter with you?
There's not a thing wrong with me.
I think there is because
No, there isn't.
you apparently...
Bye. Goodbye.
Fine, go drive somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where you think you're going.
I'm going home.
Well, I'm curious to see where that is.
Pocketbook
if it's
in
not...
hand.
We have the keys in the back.
Where's my car? My car is not even out here.
It is too.
That is
That's
not
your
my car. I have a
come
black car.
Since when?
You know this.
No, I don't know.
Why are you doing this? Why are the two of you doing this?
We're not. We're just concerned.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know
But
what's going on here.
Just have a seat.
Oh, shut up. You've never been any good with this stuff. You have
All right,
always
you
wanted.
know what? No. We don't need to go there.
It's okay. It's okay.
You two and your business. You want the table, take it.
I don't know why you're talking about this table.
Because it's the table that I've always had and you have it.
It's the table that you've always had.
It's at your house.
No, it's not.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the table I gave you when you wanted it. She wanted the table. You wanted the table. You got the table.
It's a beautiful table.
I know that. It was the one I had in my kitchen.
Which we're sitting in.
This is not my kitchen. This is your place. You've got your children's things here.
Yes, your grandchildren.
Yeah.
I know that. They're those little ones.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to do about this. I'm
You know, it's been such a long day. Why don't we just relax?
well, I'm going to go home and relax.
you can relax here.
No, this is not where I want to be.
But we want you here.
But I have got to figure this out.
We can help you figure it out.
No, just don't. I don't know what this is about.
So in this one, we saw a very different reaction to the realization that it was kind of late. In that moment, her brain tried to register that she needed to get out of there, out of this situation. And instead of realizing that it was time for them to go, they had disrupted her pattern, her flow, her day, she really got lost in place and time. This is not my home is really out of character for her. The son seemed very surprised, and the daughter-in-law seemed to try to be figuring out what to do, but neither of them had a lot of skill in how to handle that situation, which seemed to then escalate it. So let's take a look at this first piece of when you're wondering whether it's normal or not normal changes that you've got going on. So when it was time to go, some of those normal aging cues that we noticed, after lots of planning and detail work, they all sort of lost track of time, but Teepa had an awareness that she was supposed to be doing something else. There was something else that she was supposed to be up to. And so then she sort of started to blame someone because she's not late. She's never late. She doesn't like to be late. That's really against her nature. This is how she's always been, and everybody knows that about her. They didn't actually seem all that surprised with her reaction. It just sort of came out of nowhere. They were thinking this was a positive because they were planning a fun trip. They hadn't considered how it might affect her day. And with a visual cue of her watch, She became very time aware and self-aware of her own desire to be on time. In doing so, though she wasn't as considerate of others' feelings as she might normally be or often is, with her words, her tone, her phrasing, and her sharpness of what she was saying, probably wasn't really in order to not hurt, it was in order to speed the process up. So now let's look over at some not normal cues that we noticed in that other video. So sitting in her own home, but when her brain was really engaged in a lot of planning and detail, she actually looked up and thought, wow, I'm not supposed to be here. And so got up to leave and said she needed to go home, and yet she was home. So it really confused the family, but also her. Even with a prompt that she'd been living here for 18 years, even with some looking around and engaging in the table, recognizing the table was hers, but the space did not feel right. So it didn't feel like home, because where she actually was looking was for a childhood home. She was looking for something that didn't exist at all anymore. For 18 years, she had lived in this other home, and who knows how many places between then and now. But the address that came perfectly to her tongue was the childhood address. And she really did not falter. It wasn't that she was confused. It wasn't that she was worried about what other people would think. This was not right. And so she did not falter in her belief, because her belief was what her brain was telling her is right. This is not the right house. You need to get home. The home looks like this. This is what you're looking for. And so this was really tricky, because there were some normal cues that led them to believe that this was going well and the planning was going well. And then there was a trigger, and there was something that changed her awareness of the time and the space. And again, none of this points to dementia specifically. These are just some awareness pieces to have when time awareness or situation awareness seems to be different than what it used to be, or it seems to happen when your reality and their reality don't seem to match. It's time to start getting curious. Is this normal, or is this something to ask some questions about? That's something to start asking some questions about, especially if it's really out of character for me. So now let's take a look at the other side of time. So in these first pieces, we were talking about when I recognized there was a time awareness and then a mismatch of time awareness. In this next one, there's also a time awareness that I have, and maybe a mismatch of time awareness for you, when I'm trying to get to the doctor. And there's an appointment scheduled, and I've got the date, and you've drilled it in me, because maybe I'm not great with appointments in general. Maybe there's a lot of logistics we have to work out with, grandkids and kids and all of these pieces. But also, maybe I just am needing, as I'm aging, a little bit more support getting to and from, even just transportation. So what's normal when it comes to doctor's appointments and time awareness, and how many times I ask you for what time am I supposed to be there? What time am I supposed to be there? What time am I supposed to be there? So let's take a look at these two videos, and let's see two different scenarios, one more normal and one not so normal.
Oh yeah, I need to check. Is she coming over today? I think it's today. Wait a minute, let me check. Let me give her a call.
Hey, Teepa, what's up?
Hey, sweetheart, listen. Are you going to come by here today? Is it today?
Yeah, it's today. We have your appointment at, what was it, 2 o'clock, you said?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, well, I'll be there.
Okay, well, what time are you coming?
Well, if the appointment's at 2 o'clock, I'll pick you up at, say, 1:30. Sound good?
1:30. Okay, so today you'll be here in it won't be too long, huh?
Not too long. No, do you need me to bring anything?
No. Okay, I was just checking.
Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so, oh, let me wipe that up. Oh, shoot, I forgot to ask her. Wait a minute, let me.
Hey, Teepa, what's up?
Hey, sweetheart, listen, I know I just talked to you at 1:30, but I forgot to ask, are we taking my car or your car?
We can do either. What do you want?
Well, if I'm taking mine, I have to get gas.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll drive, no problem.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry to bother you.
No problem. You need anything else?
No, that was it. That was it. I think that's all.
Okay.
1:30, 2 o'clock appointment,
Right.
and you're going to drive.
That's right.
All right. That was it. All right, sorry.
Take care.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hate when I do that. Should have told her the first time. All right, what was I doing here? I got that cleaned up. Okay, let me hang this up. There we go.
So in this first video, we got to see a fairly normal, you can breathe deep, fairly normal interaction between someone who's trying to keep up with a lot of details, forgot to ask one final question that was a fairly important question about how am I going to get there, called back, but added on to the information of the previous call. Now let's watch a situation that's not normal, and let's see what we notice is different this time around.
Oh, yeah, I need to check. Is she coming over today? I think it's today. Wait a minute, let me check. Let me give her a call.
Hey, Teepa, what's up?
Hey, sweetheart, listen, are you going to come by here today? Is it today?
Yeah, it's today. We have your appointment at, what was it, 2 o'clock, you said?
Uh-huh, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, well, I'll be there.
Okay, well, what time are you coming?
Well, if the appointment's at 2 o'clock, I'll pick you up at, say, 1:30. Sound good?
1:30. Okay, so today you'll be here in just, it won't be too long, huh?
Not too long. No, do you need me to bring anything?
No. Okay, I was just checking.
Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, now wait a minute. Now that's today, isn't? Oh, well, I need to call her and see what time she's going to come over. If it's, see, let me get that, call that. Okay, well, I just need to find out.
Hey, Teepa. Everything okay?
Hey, yeah, listen, I just wanted to know, are you going to come by today, or is it today, I think?
Yeah, it is today. You've got your appointment at 2, and we just talked and figured out I'd be coming by at 1:30.
What do you mean we just talked? No. I mean, I was just calling to check. You are going to come by, right?
Yes, I'm coming by at 1:30, but you just called.
1:30. Okay, well, 1:30. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's 1:30, and then the appointment's at 2.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well, I will see you in a little bit then.
Do you need anything?
No, I was just calling to see whether or not you were coming.
I'm coming.
I thought I remembered something, but I wasn't sure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, I will see you then real soon.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's it. All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, that's what I was thinking. Okay, a little milk. I just need to. Oh. Now, is that today she's coming? I better give her a call. I can't remember. Okay, wait a minute. Let me think. Okay.
Hey, Teepa.
sweetheart. Listen, are you going to come by here? Is it today? Are you coming by today?
Yes. Yes, it's today, and I'm coming by at 1:30.
1:30 today?
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, you called twice.
No, I mean, well, no, this is about the appointment. I have an appointment, right?
Right, you have an appointment at 2.
At 2,
and I'm coming up.
okay.
Yeah, and I'm picking you up at 1:30 so that we're there in
1:30,
time.
okay. Yeah. Well,
Hey,
that's
are
good.
you okay?
Well, I'm fine. I was just calling to check and see what time you're coming.
1:30, like I said twice already today, and that's no
Well,
problem.
you just told me. I mean, I just was asking.
It's fine, it's fine. But if you need something, just say, okay?
Well, I just asked. So 1:30 is when you're coming by.
Right, 1:30.
Well, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we're good, right?
All right. You don't need to make a big deal of it. I mean, I was just 1:30. You'll be there 2 o'clock. The appointment. I've got it.
Got it. Okay.
Jeez. All right. Bye.
We're good. Bye.
Poor little thing. I don't know what she's so worried about. Now, what was I doing over here? Well, I guess I was wiping this off.
So this time around, we actually saw something really interesting. The first conversation actually sounded pretty similar, and if it had stopped there, that's fairly normal. Maybe even a second conversation, but the piece about that second conversation that was really tricky was the lack of memory of that first call. That wasn't that long ago, and it was a fairly repetitive call. All of the pieces that were mentioned in the first call were mentioned in the second call. And even that, 2 calls alone, maybe it's just I'm tired, but then you get a third call that's exactly the same as the first 2, and it really makes you start to wonder. When we have that same conversation, that same loop a few times, and I'm really, truly, it's new for me each and every time, that's time to start asking some questions. Notice I'm not saying get concerned. Let's get curious. Start finding out what's going on. What kind of prompts, what kind of reminders am I trying? So let's take a look at this one. When we look at the normal aging cues for what time is my appointment. So the very first part, she said, "Hey, sweetheart." Now that's not necessarily an indicator of anything. If I use it regularly though, and I really avoid nouns and names, that's a slightly different feel to it. If I just use it as a placeholder for a name when I can't think of it fast enough, or when I just want to call you something different, then it's a normal aging cue. The repeated call, so the second call actually added new details to the first call. It was an add-on call. So that's a normal aging piece as well. It's normal to forget a couple of the details that I meant to ask about all in one, and Teepa is clearly the kind of person that likes to be able to get it done in one call. But she needed that second call to finish up the detail. She also said the details out loud a few times. It's healthy to say things out loud to hold on to it. Talking to yourself is actually a great mnemonic device in order to remember a few details when things get really long and big. And then she was able, once she was done with the call, she was able to move on to the task that she was starting before the call happened. So she, by looking around or by picking something up, recognized what she was in process of and finished it up. Now let's look at some of those not normal cues. Each time she notices the date, wherever it is on different pieces, the newspaper, the calendar, the phone, she remembers the appointment. What she's not remembering or holding on to are those repeated phone calls. So to her, each and every phone call is a new phone call to check on, well, how am I going to get to my doctor's appointment that I know is today? Even though the topic of the calls is the same, she's still not necessarily holding on to any of the details. So she's got the appointment, which is really important. Doctor's appointments are important. To many human brains, they are important. She's got the date. She may even hold on to that time, but she's really struggling with any of the other specific details. And when she hears distress in someone else's voice, she can't seem to place the why. Why is she getting so upset? I mean, I'm just asking her for the first time what time my appointment is. And if we continue to respond in the same way over and over and over again, they're asking the same question, we're answering the same question, we're asking the same question, we're answering the same question, then we're both getting pretty frustrated in this situation. And yet, for me, it's the first time. For you, I've called 3 times. And so your frustration with the situation feels like you're frustrated with me. And so this distress gets misplaced, and then it starts an argument that neither of us really wanted to have, because my brain's having a hard time holding on to how many times I've called you, what I called you about, and the details. And then those tasks that she was in the middle of doing, making a cup of coffee, wiping down the counter, none of those things were completed. After the call, once her brain was able to let go of the phone call, there was just whatever visually I came across next, not a thought back to what was I doing right before this call. So again, normal is normal for you. So it depends on who you were, who you are, and who you're around. Baselines are one of those things that can really help you gauge, have I changed a lot? Have I changed a little? And normal aging does slow us down, but really should not cause us to lose function. And just because aging is not normal for you, it does not mean that it is dementia, but it is worth getting checked out. It's time to get curious instead of cautious or concerned. Curious means asking some questions. All right, well, thanks for joining me this time. I'll see you all around. So in these videos, we're talking about normal aging versus not normal aging. And this time we're focused on something a little bit different, suspicious activity. Aging adults are seen as sort of a vulnerable group. But there's elements of normal aging that help keep that vulnerability down and the risk level down. And when there's not normal aging going on, changes in the brain function, the risk gets higher and higher. So we're going to watch a couple of different video sets. And the first one we're going to watch is about phone skimming, pretty prevalent problem. So go ahead and take a look at this first video and really notice, where does this happen that you've seen it happen? What happens when you get asked really important information from an authority figure? And do you notice any risk factors, any triggers, any things that would send up a red flag for you that either is or isn't being noticed by Teepa in the video? Let's go ahead and take a look.
Hello? Yeah, this is Teepa Snow. Oh. Overdrawn? No. I mean, are you sure? Well, yeah, hang on just a second. I'll get my bank. Wait a minute. Let me get my checkbook out. I'll give you the account number and you can let me know for sure. But wow, I'm really surprised. Well, gosh. Well, wait a minute. It's on the bottom of the check, right? Yeah. Hang on just a second. Here it is. All right, here's the number. Oh, and you need the password too. Okay. Well, the password is dog and cat. Dog and cat. Yeah, all written out. Yeah, I do it that way. That way it's easy because pets. Easy to remember. Okay, you ready for the account number? Yeah, let me give it to you.
Okay, so, in this video, she gave away the farm, offering a password and the reasoning behind the password. It sounded like the person on the phone was pretty friendly, pretty skilled in forming relationships. And yet, what just happened was all of her banking information, along with the password, is now out the window. And how likely is Teepa in this state to notice that money is starting to disappear? And then she really does get a call from the bank. But at this point, how do you know who's true and who's not? So this is a pretty tough situation. Let's take a look at a second video, and then we'll talk about what we noticed in normal aging versus not normal aging. Same phone scam, different skill set for the person receiving the phone.
Hello? This is Teepa Snow. The bank? Yeah. No. I mean, overdrawn? No, it's not overdrawn. Yeah, I'm sure. No, if you want to give me your information, I will call the bank and verify, but no, I won't be giving you out information over the phone. Absolutely not. I'm going to be calling the police if this happens again. This is not okay. This is a scam. I know what a scam sounds like. You don't give out information over the phone. People don't call and do that. My bank doesn't call. Bye.
Okay, so this time around, she was wise to their ways. Very similar setup, the authority figure of the bank, and telling you your account is overdrawn, but as soon as they started to dig for a little bit more information that a bank wouldn't normally ask for, her red flag went up. Wait a second, this is not something I've ever done before. Why would we shift it now without any notice, without any call? So that's pretty skillful. Let's take a look at the reasoning that helped us figure out whether this is normal or not normal. So if we're wondering whether this is normal or not, we really want to look at the details, because normal aging really just means that we're slowing down a little bit, not that we're losing function. So for this suspicious activity scam, some of the normal aging cues. She recognized the authority. This is an alert. Uh-oh. Ooh, I should be a little concerned. But instead of going, oh, no concern, throw it all away, she went, ooh, wait a second. Let me find out a little bit more from you before I just give you all of my private information. So rather than answering the question, she said, well, why don't you tell me your information? And that put the other person at unease because they weren't expecting that. She took the time to stop and think. This is one of those real key components to having a normal aging brain. I can still stop and think, how is information normally gathered? Wait a second. This is not how banks work for me. And then refusing to give it out, whether or not it hurt the person's feelings, she wasn't as concerned about that because this is not safe for me. Self-awareness and an awareness of how things normally operate allowed her to stay safe in this scam. Now let's take a look at that other video, that first video we saw. She recognized the authority from the bank and, ooh, overdrawn. But instead, when they said her name, she actually did recognize, oh, this isn't normal for me. I'm not normally overdrawn. In fact, Teepa's never been overdrawn. But it wasn't a trigger for her. It was just a, well, that's not right. And then because she was already in this place of unease, instead of questioning the method in which they were calling her and asking for bank information, which they've never done before, she didn't notice that change because she was concerned about something she had done wrong. And then because of that triggering of her amygdala, she wasn't able to then put a stop on it, and she offered out multiple layers so that they had everything they needed to withdraw her account. And the likelihood that she would notice that over time is not great. So now what we're going to do is take a look at another video. It's a set of 2 videos again, but this time where there's some suspicious activity right across the street. You're worried that your neighbors watching you are a little bit suspicious. They're not your favorite people in the world. So let's take a look and see what we notice about Teepa's ability to see what's happening and figure out whether this is real or not real, whether there's something going on, or whether it's just an uncomfortable situation.
See him? See him? There he is. Yeah, he's not checking his mail. He's checking me out, this house. He pretends. Pretends he's checking the mail. He knows there's no mail. Wave at me. Yeah. He didn't even need to put that garbage thing out today. It's not today. Today's not the collection thing. He's watching. He's watching this house. I don't trust him. I've never trusted him. They moved in there, and I've never liked them. And thereafter, they're up to something. And I don't, now look, see, he's looking again. He's looking again. No. I'm calling the police if this stays up. I'm not gonna have it. I don't like people like him looking at the house. He's trying to figure out, when am I not gonna be, when can I get in? See, things have been missing, and I've got a pretty good idea who's doing it. Yeah, I do. Yep. Look at over here. Don't like him. I don't like him.
Whew, okay, what'd you notice this time around? Yeah, this was not all that normal. There were a lot of notes there that just didn't quite fit, and what seemed to be driving it was that she actually truly did have a dislike for these neighbors. Whether that was always or new would be something to get curious about. Because if it's always that way, well then maybe there is a reason that she's cautious or that she feels like she's being watched. But if this is a new occurrence and something that really hasn't been going on that long, and she's always liked them and now she doesn't, and just the sight of them is what causes this feeling of being watched, there's something to get curious about. Again, doesn't necessarily mean it's dementia. It's something to start asking questions about. Who have I always been, and who am I now? And what am I noticing about those changes? Let's take a look at the second video to see what it would look like if there were normal aging involved.
Oh, there he goes. I never have liked them much, but can't pick neighbors. Checking his mail. Hey. Yeah, well, whatever, as long as he stays in his yard. Was today we were supposed to put that out? Shoot, I didn't. Whatever.
Ooh, all right, so this time around, there's still that dislike underwriting all of this stuff. The difference is, the biggest difference is that the reality hasn't morphed for Teepa. She realized, oh, he's going out to get his trash because, oops, it was trash day and I forgot. Instead of, he's going out to get his trash so he can spy on me. Those are two very different reasonings that happen up here in the prefrontal cortex. When I notice something, what do I do with that information that I just saw happens here in this part of the brain. Normal aging, I'd still be able to come to a logical, reasonable conclusion. Not normal aging, my conclusion may not actually be all that logical and reasonable to the rest of the world around me. So let's take a look at what we saw here. So this is now an awareness of others. With normal aging, she noticed the male neighbor across the street and that he looked in her direction. He did. That's a reality. She was also watching him through the window, so she recognized, oop, he saw me. If I don't wave, that's kind of an awkward interaction, so I'm going to cover and smile and wave with that fake smile, even though I really don't like him all that much. And as she was doing that, she recognized, oh shoot, he was taking in his trash, which means that I missed trash day. Ugh. On the other side of things, with the not normal cues, she noticed the male neighbor across the street, and without him even looking in her direction, she knows he's watching. So again, the logic and reason isn't quite in place. He really was coming out to check his mail and get his trash can back. Very reasonable thing to do. It's just that she doesn't like him that much. So she's putting something, or her brain, may not be hers, putting something else on top of this awareness to make it make sense. And what she's making sense of is that he's doing this to watch her. And then when he does wave, she doesn't notice, again, another skill, notice how it might appear to him if she doesn't wave back. So she's thinking he's the one watching her, and yet if every time you come out to get your trash and you wave at your neighbor who's looking at you through the window and she doesn't wave back, what conclusion is he coming to? So now we're building a situation where this is not going to go well for either of us. And she really truly believes that he is purposely leaving his house in order to watch her, not because it was trash day. So for her, it did not trigger, ooh, I wonder if I missed trash day. No, it was obviously he just put it out there, even though it wasn't trash day, so he could come spy on me. Huh. Well, that's not normal for aging. Now, if I've always had an element of this, if I've always been somebody who's cautious and suspicious of others, and whenever anybody looks in my direction, then maybe for me, that's normal aging. But it doesn't necessarily indicate a healthy brain if that's new or different or something that I've never done before. So the key to normal aging, and if we were trying to put a label on it, we can't. But we can say normal depends on who you are and who you were before. Aging really is important to look at because baselines, who I was, will tell me whether or not I've changed significantly, quickly, slowly, over time, in a way that's normal or not normal. But if I don't have a baseline to go back to, then it makes things really hard. Normal aging does slow us down. I might not recognize it, and I might actually get scammed by a phone scam. It might take me 2 times, but the second time through, I sure do learn. And I don't give out my information quite as freely. And I have those red flags that come up because I learn it just might take me a little longer than it used to. But I don't lose function with normal aging. And just because your aging process might not be normal, maybe you notice some of those not normal cues in these videos in yourself or in the person that you care for, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's dementia. It's time to stop and think and get curious. Because if we can ask questions, if we can figure out what's going on with someone who's qualified to give a little feedback, then maybe we can all breathe a sigh of relief that we at least know what we're dealing with instead of assuming the worst. All right, well, thanks for joining us for this series, Normal or Not Normal Aging. We'll be back for a few more later.
In this segment, we're going to be looking at normal or not normal. We'll look at 4 different clips, 2 groups of 2. In the first scenario, what we're looking at is just a casual contact in a neighborhood. What might we notice about someone we don't know well? We just meet occasionally, maybe at the mailbox. Let's take a look and see in this first clip whether you think what you're seeing and hearing is pretty much normal aging or something else.
Oh, hi. How are you? Hey, Katya and
Dan.
Dan. I knew that. I just slipped, you know.
I know. Don't feel bad. I do it out all the time.
Doing? Good.
Good,
See
real
you in
good.
a while.
Yeah.
Out walking?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. See you
All
later.
right. Take care.
Yeah. Gotcha. I got it.
So, what'd you think? Well, this is pretty normal. What happened was Teepa was able to identify one person by name right away. But then the second person, there was a hesitation, just not quite able to find the specific name, but knew the relationship and then couldn't quite think of the details. So sort of a little awkward social moment and an acknowledgement of an awkwardness. So what did she do? She greeted, she was friendly, and then she left. So here, well, that was pretty normal. Not being able to find a name in a moment, that's a rapid turnaround. Well, there was the fact that she didn't use his name after she got it, so less of a chance that she might hold on to it. Now, I'm saying that's normal unless for you always know people names, and then that might not be quite so normal for you. But in general, that's considered fairly normal age. Harder to get up with stuff, harder to find it when you need it exactly, particularly names. And that awkward moment, yeah, that's pretty normal too. Afterward, you might be able to find it without a hitch, or you might still have to think starts with a D. So let's take a look at a second video. Casual contact again. Let's see what happens this time.
Yeah, I know.
It's a front loader kind
Well, hi.
Hey, Teepa.
Hey.
How you doing?
Well, what are you doing here?
I'm just out for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, she lives nearby, but
Well,
You're
we
from-
kind of live in the same house.
It's Dan.
well, when did you move in?
Well,
Wasn't this
Teepa,
something you were at the office? I
we-
remember I met you at an office.
Right. We've been married for 7 years.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-huh.
Isn't this something? So you married her? I didn't even know you knew each other.
Yeah, I married her.
Isn't that well? I was getting my mail, and I'm used to coming by, but isn't that amazing? So you moved up here to be with her?
I've been here a
Well, but-
long time. I'm surprised you don't remember this.
No. I mean, you haven't been here for a long time. I mean, you lived down in that other place down there.
No.
When you came to the...
Well, a long time ago, but I mean,
I know what you're...
we've been here for
Well, this is
a good
the
7,
first
8 years.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Well, isn't
Yeah.
that something? I didn't even know you were married.
Yeah, a long time.
Huh. Something.
Okay.
Well, it's good that you found each other. Well, I'm going to go on in.
All right.
If you need anything,
Oh, I'm
or if we
good.
can come by.
No,
bring something
good.
from the
I'm
store.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right. We'll just give a holler.
the two of you together. Okay. Huh.
Okay, see ya.
Who would have thought? Didn't know they were...
Well, if you have any doubt, yeah, that was not really normal. In this case, what happened was Teepa was actually thinking there was another story, a backstory, and the couple were like, yeah, that's not true. So in other words, Teepa's brain made up stuff. Now, Teepa is not lying. Important to notice, what we call this is confabulation. Teepa's brain said something about this person and their relationship and why she didn't know this information and why finding him where she found him in the situation she found him in seemed odd. But in fact, it's inaccurate. But Teepa seems to have a hard time accepting that there's an emotional distress that goes along with that and a withdrawal from the relationship. So yeah, something's not normal here and maybe worth checking out. As a casual neighbor, this could be a little awkward. Maybe a one-on-one visit just to find out, is this something that was just in the moment or could something be going on? Not necessarily brain change that's forever, but maybe a signal that something's not right. And in a good neighbor, it would be great to have somebody who cared enough just to do a follow-up check. Maybe not together, maybe separately. Maybe Katya, since that seemed to be the person Teepa was more connected to. Anyway, what we saw in this little video clip, normal, not normal, yeah, we did notice, and it was noticeable. So the question now is, well, what about if we have deeper connections? What if this isn't just a one-off sort of meeting at the mailbox? What if we've had somebody that we've been active in the community with, maybe on a committee or something? Let's take a look at those situations and see if we can figure out normal or not normal. Take a look and see what you think this is.
Okay, it looks like we got a lot of stuff.
We do.
We're
And here's what I'm going to tell you. this yard waste thing is one, and people are just not doing what they should be doing.
I know.
I mean,
I
and
know.
then this is, and then there's the putting those things out that you redo things in.
The
The
recycling.
recycling bins?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're putting them out and they're leaving them. They're
I
not
know,
picking.
they're not rolling them
Yeah,
back
yeah,
on
yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, and it's just one thing on top of the other. And here's, I know I have chaired this a long time, but I've reached it. That's it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm stepping down.
Oh, no. Don't
Yeah,
do
no, that's it. That
you
people are not doing what they say they'll do, and I'm not going to be in the middle of this. I can't. There's too much. It's
I
too
really
much.
sympathize
Well,
with what you're
but
saying.
you are going to have to figure out how to manage this
I don't
because
think we can without you.
Well, you'll have to.
Well, it's a question of redelegating. We
No.
certainly can redistribute who does what.
That's
We'll
enough.
take on some more
Yeah, you do it.
responsibility.
You're going to be doing the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. So Teepa suddenly, on a committee that she's been in charge of for quite some time, was emotionally distressed about things that have been going on for a while. I mean, it's not actually a new problem, but she's done. She's not going to do this anymore. And it came sort of suddenly, and there's an emotion to it. She's also having some word finding problems. It doesn't seem to be easy for her to come up with the things that she's talking about in that moment. Additionally, not only does she not want to be in charge, she doesn't want to work on this anymore. She's withdrawing, she's stopping. She's even stopping the relationship with the other people on the committee that have been important, and she's served on this committee for, wow, a long time. So withdrawal, disconnection, giving it all up, and not seeming particularly happy about the whole thing. So let's take a look at this second scenario to see if this can clarify that this first one isn't really normal for normal aging. Let's take a look at the B-roll.
Well, it looks like we got a pretty full agenda today.
We do, and there's two more things that we need to add on, and I have the list. The limb disposal. The
Yard
people are
waste.
not, yes, they're not doing their yards.
I know.
You know, and
I
it's
know. We
getting
need to get on them
worse.
about that.
And the other is the recycling containers. People are putting them out early.
Yeah.
I know.
And then they're
Not
leaving them
bringing
out.
them back on the Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Is they
Okay,
leave them out
well,
for 2 to
here's
3
what I've got to
days.
tell you. I've decided I don't really want to head this up anymore. It's just a lot. I
Really?
mean, yeah.
But
I mean,
you do
I've
such
done
a
it-
good job.
I know, but
You've done it for 10 years.
I know. But it's time for somebody else to try this. I mean, I feel like I've just said it, and nobody listens anymore.
Well, that's just people.
I
In
know,
one
but
ear out the other,
I don't
and
mind helping.
promises.
But somebody else needs to take the lead on this, okay? So
Okay.
I don't mean,
Okay.
Well, if you want to redelegate,
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
that
if
would
it's not- or
work.
if
I
you
mean,
just
I
don't
just
wanna be in the
I'm
role
not
of-
saying I won't do anything. But,
Sure.
you know, it's getting to be a lot keeping up with everything.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah.
as good on the computer thing as you guys are. And the phone thing, I mean, just it's the hearing is more problematic when I talk to people. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying.
sure.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
If
That's
it's
fair.
stressful, you
We
know,
can.
All right, but I mean, I'm not saying I won't help. I mean,
well,
you know.
we definitely need your help.
Okay.
For sure.
Well,
but-
you you guys, somebody decide. Maybe Katya, you can.
Well, big shoes to fill, but maybe I can be the interim.
You can do it. I'll help. I'll
Okay.
help.
You can
know,
train me
but
up.
I'm
There's
just not-
definitely got to be a transition period.
Oh,
for
okay.
real.
Yeah, no, we're
Okay.
good. We're good. Okay. I
All
feel
right.
better.
All right. Well, what do we do about this yard
All
waste
right.
in these
Yeah.
Back to the recycling.
yard
bins.
slobs?
Yeah.
Ooh, so yeah, now you can see what it might look like if it was just sort of more of a normal aging, normal frustration, like I'm tired of this, I've been working on it for a while, and I just don't see how it's going to get any better. So what we saw here is a person who says, you know what, it's just not working for me anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away from leadership, but I still want to participate, but I'm going to let someone else take the lead and see what we can do. So a degree of flexibility, a degree of continued interest, but also some frustration. Maybe a little bobbling of language, but nothing dramatic, and staying connected. So this is more common with normal aging. So if we look at those two scenarios. If we've been more intimately connected with someone and they're trying to get away or having emotional meltdowns, or we're noticing the language as well as the distress, as well as the inability to tolerate or letting go of things, we may want to get a little more curious. If someone is just saying, you know what, I'd like a different relationship in regard to this and I'm frustrated or tired, well, that's something else. So normal, not normal, when we look at community and neighborhood, it's an opportunity for us to go beyond what we might think about doing if we're noticing things are not normal. But it's also a chance for us to foster and support normal aging changes. So that's what we figured out. Normal, not normal, when it comes to community life. In this segment of normal or not normal aging, what we're going to look at is the ability of someone to keep up with life, the events of life, what's going on in life. And we're going to do two different scenarios, but two variations of each scenario so you can get a feel for, is this normal and normal aging, or is this not normal? So the first kind of scenario we're going to look at is missing appointments. Something was supposed to happen and it's not happening exactly the way the person had thought it would. So let's look at the first clip.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hi,
Running a
Miss
little bit
Snell.
late.
It's good to see you again. What can I do for
Yeah.
you?
Well, I have an appointment just in time.
Oh, we had you actually yesterday.
No, I think it's for today. I mean, I'm sure it's for today.
Oh, did you talk to Josh and schedule a touch-up or something? Because he may not have
I mean, I
told me
haven't been here. What are you talking about?
Well, I had you down yesterday at 2 o'clock
Well, I wasn't
with
here
Josh.
yesterday. I mean, so did you make a mistake and put it on the wrong day or something?
No, I'm pretty sure. You paid with a check and.
I haven't been here. What do you I mean? You've got to be confused or something. I mean, I haven't been here. I haven't been here in like 6 weeks. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Oh well, I'm only as good as my notes, but we had you down at 2 o'clock.
Well, so you don't have me down for today.
Well, if you'd like a touch
No,
up, we
never
can fit you in
mind.
later.
Never mind.
or-
This is, I don't believe this. Whatever. Absurd.
Well, in case you're curious, that's not normal. What we just saw is someone coming in thinking that they had an appointment, but in fact, they had the appointment yesterday. They actually got their hair done yesterday. And so the person who schedules appointments at first thinks it's just like maybe wanting to come back and get something done about the appointment from the day before. And then beginning to understand, no, the person actually doesn't remember that appointment at all. So this is missed data. And when the person who is trying to help is not able to get the data in because the person can't take in data, the person who's having trouble, they can't seem to get the idea that they were here the day before they got their hair done. So the data won't go in because the person is quite honestly convinced that it never happened. In other words, wow, something's not there anymore that should have gotten in there. So when she left, there was emotional distress. So she's moving on in emotional distress because she thinks something has been going on behind her back. She's been cheated out of something. That puts her at high risk for emotional distress, and she still doesn't get that she's missing data. So what would happen if indeed she was supposed to take a medication and she already did, but she didn't think she did? As an example of how this can go further than just a hair appointment. Let's look at another situation. Same scenario, but let's see if this one looks normal or not normal.
Just in time.
Oh,
Running
hi,
a little
Miss
late.
Snow.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
Well, have an appointment?
I'm sorry. We tried to call you yesterday. We had you down at 2 o'clock with Josh yesterday.
No, it's today.
It's been kind of a standing appointment.
Oh my God.
On the
I am
Mondays.
so sorry.
No, it's all right.
wow.
It's all right.
I have the wrong date.
It's okay.
My fault.
It's
oh
okay.
gosh, I am so sorry.
It happens to everybody. We can fix this. Josh is booked for the rest of the afternoon, but we could book you same time next week, or if you want to come in
Do
sooner.
you have anything sooner?
Well, you know what I can do? I can call you tomorrow morning if I have any cancellations in the afternoon.
Okay,
Work
yeah,
you
no,
in,
that's
okay?
fine. Ay, ay,
We'll do
ay. Man, I thought I looked. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
My fault, my fault. Oh, you're so great.
Oh, it's no problem.
Jeez.
And we'll give you a call
All right.
first thing in the morning if
Thanks.
anybody drops out.
Appreciate
Okay?
it. Bye.
Take care. Have a
I'll
good
be
day.
here.
All right.
Oh, yikes. Yeah. Now, if you have never mistaken the day that you were supposed to do something in your calendar and sort of gotten turned around, and then when somebody notices or indicates, yeah, that was yesterday, you go, oh, shoot, and you look at your calendar, and sure enough, yeah, it was yesterday. You got turned around in date, in time. But when you have the support structure, which you tend to do when this starts happening, you use your calendar. Now, you may use your calendar to make sure you have fewer of these mistakes, or you may use it to correct it when it happens. But you're starting to use assistive aids to help, because keeping up with time and what happens when and whether or not it happened this time or it just usually happens, well, it's getting a little harder to keep up with. So where's normal and not normal? Well, this range depends a lot on you and how you've done things, but it also depends on how far away from what any of us might do in that circumstances you're starting to react. Now let's look at another situation. And in this one, we have two different, yes, normal, not normal kind of things. And this time it's, where is something? How did it get there? And what's going on? So let's take a look at the first role play of what happens. So the little scenario. All right, now let me put these things away. I need to start. Probably do the refrigerator stuff first. All right, let's see. Oh gosh, okay. Huh, let me put this here. Yeah. Boy, I don't have as much room as I thought. That can go there. I'm gonna have to lay that there. Now, let me get the rest of the stuff out. Okay. Oh, now I got these. There we go. All right. Just a little bit of milk. Good grief, what's this? Oh yeah, I was putting away the groceries. I'm losing it. Unbelievable. Milk. Ay, ay, ay. What a day, huh? Okay. In this one, who hasn't laid something down in the midst of doing something else and then either couldn't find it where it usually is kept, or sees it where it's at and goes, how in the world did that get here? And it usually takes a thinking through what you were doing earlier in the day and how it might have landed there to go, oh yeah, oh my heavens, I was putting away, I was doing. Yeah, but then your brain is able to put together the pieces of the puzzle to figure out what happened. Now, while you're doing that, there's a pause on everything else because your brain is going, whoa, what happened here? Why is that there? Or why is that not where it belongs? So you either retrace your steps or try to figure it out, putting the puzzle together. That's pretty normal with aging, but also with stress. It can also be when I've had an emotional day and I wasn't paying as much attention as I might have to all the details. So let's look at this second scenario and see if you can pick out the places where this transitions from normal to not so normal. All right, now let me put these things away. I need to start. Probably do the refrigerator stuff first. All right, let's see. Oh gosh, okay. Huh, let me put this here. Yeah. Boy, I don't have as much room as I thought. That can go there. I'm gonna have to lay that there. Now, let me get the rest of the stuff up. Okay. Oh, I got those. Let's go. All right. All right. A little bit of milk. What are these doing in here? Somebody's coming in here. People, I told him people were coming in here. Somebody put the keys in there. This has got to stop. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, people coming in here. I always keep them over there. I always keep them over here. I can't believe this. They got in here and they put them in the refrigerator. Ridiculous. This is with the coffee. Make sure there's got to be milk here somewhere. Oh, there. Got it. Not good. He's been in here with the keys. Can't fool me. I know what's going on here. People are planning and doing things. They have no business doing this. I'm going to talk to somebody about this. That's not right. That's just not right. They don't go in there. Yeah. Now, that was not normal. In this case, when Teepa found the keys in the refrigerator, she accused people of coming in. And there's no evidence or reason to think somebody else came in, except that she truly could not identify there was a missing piece to the puzzle, and the missing piece to the puzzle was she had laid the keys down when she was doing that. No memory of that whatsoever. It's not there. She can't find it because it never got registered. Ooh, and then the milk. She put it in the door, but then there was some there, and she tried to put it in the other door. So she's starting to have trouble putting things where they belong, because in the moment she becomes distressed that something isn't where it belongs, and she puts something else down to go fix something else. And then, so life starts to get disorganized, and place starts to get disorganized, and time starts to get disorganized. Not normal. That's not normal aging. Something might be going on here. Certainly worth investigating. But we have to be careful, because we can get the person in distress thinking that we think that they can't think, or we know and they don't know. So this segment on normal, not normal, keeping up with life, time, appointments, events, things, hopefully you're getting the idea that how we go about helping is just as important as what we're noticing is not normal, or is it? But what we choose to do about what we notice, well, there's more to learn about that. But for today, normal, not normal with life, yeah, you can start to notice once you start paying attention. In this segment of Normal, Not Normal, we're going to go over communication and emotional reactions or control. And we're going to look for what's normal aging change and what's not normal. And we're going to start off with the ability to control your emotional reaction. See what you think when you watch this first clip. Is this normal aging, or is this something else?
Okay, Teepa, you ready to come on back?
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Oh.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
What's the matter?
I don't know.
What, did something happen?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Can I get you something? Do you need to sit down?
I don't know what to do.
Well, maybe you should just have a seat for a minute. Would that be all right? Okay, just can you just sit down over here? Can I get you something to drink?
Shut up.
Yeah. That emotional distress, wow, that doesn't seem normal. What happened was he asked a simple chit chat question, and unfortunately, ooh, boy, quite an emotional reaction. And it became very emotional. Words were gone. And when he said, "What's wrong?" or "What's going on?" I don't know. I don't know. The inability to identify what's causing the emotional distress. Now, in this case, it was sadness. It could be anger. It could be something funny that it's just sort of extreme for the chit chat question. So, how are you doing? Or how are you? How are you? Or whatever that might be. Now, at the end, also notice that nothing seemed to help. The efforts that he put into trying to calm, trying to offer comfort, weren't comforting. And at the end, there was even a push away, "Leave me alone. You're being mean," or "I don't like you." And that's not normal either. When people offer comfort, usually the other person will respond in kind by being comforted or at least acknowledging that effort. So let's take a look at the second clip.
Okay, Teepa, you ready to come on back?
Yeah.
How you doing today?
No.
What's the matter?
Well, it's anniversary date. You know, it's hard when you lose somebody.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah.
You were married a long time, weren't you?
Yeah. Over 40 years.
Well,
Yeah.
sit right down.
So in this clip, what we saw is emotional distress, but it was an emotional reaction. What happened was when he said, "How are you?" there was an acknowledgement, nothing extreme, but then as the opportunity presented itself, it came up, oh, an anniversary date, something that triggered. So the person was able to, at least to some extent, identify where the emotion was coming from. And when offered some comfort or connection, there seemed to be a response to that. Now, it was surface only, but this was just surface chit chat. The difference between not normal is sort of degree and do I understand at all where the emotion is coming from, or is it just coming out of nowhere for me? And if it's coming out of nowhere and I don't know what's happening and it seems fairly extreme, that's typically not normal aging. So we may want to investigate or at least offer to check into something with someone, offer support in a slightly different way, because what we might be seeing might not be dementia, but it's also not just normal living and life and aging and stress management. And it's well worth being a good friend, or at least someone who knows the person at a certain level, to try to follow up and see what might be going on. Now let's look at a second situation. And in this case, what we're looking at is a change in the ability to filter, to think and not say, to want and not do, to enjoy but not get out of control. So let's look at this first scenario and see what you think. Do you think this is sort of normal, or do you think maybe not normal?
Okay, that's 40 for today.
Okay, there you go.
All right, thank you
Yeah.
very much. And you want to set up your appointment for next time?
let me do that.
Okay. Hey.
Dan, how you doing?
Great, I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Just a second. What day would be best?
My heavens. I mean, like, what are you taking? Like streetwalkers here or what?
What?
I mean, look.
I am so sorry. Well, I'll be with you in just a second.
Ay. I mean, unbelievable, huh?
She's my next customer.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, golly, no idea.
What day did you say would be good?
The 5th.
Okay.
You know I like 10.
Okay, so that's Tuesday the 5th at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that'll be good.
All right, I'll put you down. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, let's hope that that's identified as not normal because, ooh, that was pretty yikes. So, thinking and saying tend to be two different situations where you think something and you may even glance or look at something, but to continue to look at something in a way that says, I don't like or I want, is not generally acceptable in a mature adult. So, what we're looking at is the ability to pull back on an impulse, not say, not do, not look in a situation where I might like to, want to, feel the need to, either because I really am interested or I'm really, oh, my heavens, uncomfortable. So, what we're going to do now is take a look and see what happens in a situation where we might have the same kind of thing happen. See what you notice this time in comparison.
Okay, that's going to be $40 for today.
For you?
Great, thank you very much. And you want to schedule your next one before you leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Tuesday, the 5th.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, be right with you. Okay. Tuesday the 5th.
Yeah.
Okay, and you still like the 10 o'clock? Is that working for you?
That's great.
All right, I'm putting you down for Tuesday the 5th at 10.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, great.
All
See you
right.
then.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you still got some eye rolling and you still got some but you didn't hear anything being said or a look that really advertised how uncomfortable or how much this caught your attention. So, in other words, there was at least some impulse control. Now, when we think about normal or not normal, it is important to know a person's background and to know whether or not this was sort of the way they always were. They said what they thought and they said it out loud and they didn't care who thought anything about it. But also, not only that, but where they're saying it and how loud they're saying it and who else can hear it and experience it when that's happening. So it could be saying things about someone, but it could also be using certain words to describe things or to say things about someone. Maybe language that we wouldn't normally use around children or in a faith community or maybe in a public area. Maybe it's saying something where somebody can hear and experience that. And before, we would at least made sure that they couldn't hear us. So normal, not normal when it comes to using a filter. Well, there's a lot of variation before we even get to normal, not normal aging. So we want to really think about, for this person, is this different? Because if we're noticing a change, that's classically not that different for people who are getting older, unless they have sort of a major life change and they decide they're going to change a lot of things. So is it worth looking at? Typically, yes, because what can happen is withdrawal of approval, which makes them be more socially isolated or found to be less acceptable or starts arguments. So normal, not normal. When it comes to communication, when it comes to emotional control or reactions, yeah, we can choose to make a difference when we notice the difference.